And welcome, folks, to another edition of Steady Droppin Dimes. Are you looking for the crew? I'm telling you, if you're looking for me, all you got to do is run up in the press box and say, Sam! Sam, where you at? That's all you got to do. Just run up in the press box and yell my name at the top of your lungs. That's all you got to do. Folks, did you know that?
Wasn't the top, but it was pretty high.
Being closed environment, quiet environment, and not necessarily a whisper environment. That's how you can do that. I didn't know you could do that. But I guess when you Devin Gardner and you threw for 1,000 yards in one game in Michigan Stadium, you could do whatever you want to do at the University of Michigan. You could do whatever. I mean, Devin Gardner could probably walk around the stadium in his drawers if he wanted to. He probably,
all right, now Sam.
I mean, that's how you act. He could probably walk around in his robe if he wanted to. That's he act like he was the Prince of Zamunda. The only thing that was missing, folks, was the rose petals. That's how Devin Gardner.
Sam, my confusion is it an act? Or was I just being regular? I mean, come here, what are we doing here? Was I acting or was I just being regular? I'm just trying to figure that out. Because from my view, I was just being regular.
This man walked around like, hey, this is my house. Literally.
It's my house because I live here.
I said, made up his own song.
I knew who it was right away. I said, no, this dude is not yelling my name up in the press box. But it was him. It was Devin.
Hey, what your face look like, Sam? Show him your face. when you see me peek that hat around the corner, what your face is looking like?
and I understand.
No, it's over there, man. Go, get out of here.
All right. When I got to the press box, the first thing I did was I dropped my stuff off at my spot, my tape, my chair at the press box, and then I took his turnover buffs and his trucker cap. I went over to the TV booth and delivered it to his producer, delivered his buffs because he was going to wear them on the air. And I said, hey, make sure Devin has these. And they delivered them right over to his chair. And they said, hey, this is what you do for wardrobe. You put them in a certain place so the talent has it at his disposal, right? And so they had it all set and ready to go. This was big. Devin, he wasn't even there. And his talent people had it all lined up for him. This was well before the game. So, I mean, the man came up like 15 minutes later. Sam! Man, first, I done already handled this business. First of all.
Let me throw this in there. My care pack or package or whatever you want to call it was not accompanying said buffs, but I'm just gonna say that. I'm just gonna put that out there. The package that he claims that me and Daniel has, mine wasn't even with that, but it's all good. Go ahead, finish your story.
So first of all,
he wearing it on the weekend, y'all.
That's not what was supposed to be delivered that day. What was delivered to you was special delivered to me pregame. That's what I brought to you in the booth.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, Coffee didn't trust you. You wanna know why I know? Because down on the field, she said, here, take these just in case Sam don't get them to you.
Gave you some extras?
Yeah, I got some extras. Because she know you didn't held my package hostage and been wearing it on the weekend for the last 7 to 8 weeks.
Warren.
So I'm the one that stuck out there. Okay, I see where this is going.
That's not the case. At any rate, he had his stuff well in advance. And man, had all the folks in the I think I'm the only black dude in the press box. I think I'm the only black dude in the
press box. That seems accurate.
I think it's one other black dude. The Channel 4 dude. The Channel 4 dude next to me. We the only black dudes in the press box. So when he said everybody was looking, it's the black dudes. It's the black. It's got to be
the black dude.
He done turned the press box to a cookout.
It's the black dudes up in here for sure.
Yep.
Right.
The black dudes. Well, one of them sure can't get it.
But we had a good time. And it happened to be a really good game. The offense showed out, and it was good to see them show out before the game. By the way, Steady Dropping Dimes. We should have started it out this way. Brought to you by our friends at Underground Printing, an Ann Arbor original since 2001. And guess what, folks? Underground Printing has a deal ready for you. And they had it ready well before Black Friday. But listen, it's here Black Friday as well. And through Black Friday, all the way into almost into the new year, through December 31st, you can get 20% off in store and online. Your purchase at Underground Printing using the code SAMWEB20. All right. So you want your Michigan brand apparel? SamWeb20. Go get it now. So those gifts that you were looking to get for the Michigan fan in your life, SamWeb20. Don't wait. Go ahead and get those gifts right now. Go online, undergroundshirts.com. You can make it happen. Go to the different store locations in Ann Arbor. They will take care of you. Now, I want to be clear, does not cover the custom gear. You can't go up in there and say, hey, make me a Droppin' Dime shirt and give me 20% off. Doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like
that. Unless you give them code 2STRAP, the number 2, strap Sam. If you add an extra P, you might get a little bit more. I'm just saying. 2STRAP Sam. Again, the number 2, strap Sam.
I wish that code worked, folks. I really do, but it doesn't. SamWeb20 does work. It will get you 20% off your gear, your Michigan brand apparel, any branded apparel, any non-custom items at Underground Printing. You get 20% off using the code SamWeb20. So you can use it. Your friends can use it. Your family can use it. Tell everyone. They can use it. Of course, we're telling you first because you're our underground. I mean, you're our Droppin' Dimes family, but you can tell your family and friends as well. They can get 20% off at Underground Printing. That's South Main, Southview, downtown, or online. You know, any of their locations. Okay? So go ahead, take advantage of the opportunity at Underground Printing. We'll show you some of the items a little bit later on in the show.
Sam, to be clear, the extra P does nothing.
It doesn't.
No.
Neither does 2STRAPs. But anyway.
Oh, really? I thought one of them worked.
I digress. Listen, folks. The game, DG, Daniel, it's this week. Now, you know, my man, Jared Irons, call him the captain. He would always say, he said, you don't understand this, Sam, because you never played in it. He said, you know, I'm gonna try to explain it to you. He said, you look at it and you look at their ranking and you look at ours. He said, you look at how many stars they have and you look at ours. And I get it. He said, that matters. So I won't make it sound like when they got a whole lot of stars and we don't have any that doesn't matter. It does. But if they got a bunch of stars and we got some, as long as we got some, oh, we got a shot, bro. We got a shot. Don't get it twisted. Because once you get between the lines, Sam, it's a whole lot different. And so that takes me to your experience, DG. It's a game that lives in lore in your life, I know. It's a game that we just talked about. It's a game that people keep reliving. They keep saying, man, a Borges jest. They keep saying a Borges jest. And I know if you keep saying a Borges jest, and they keep reliving it, DG. I always say if DG just didn't break his foot. That's what I keep saying.
100%.
But they came in that game thinking, we going to kill these dudes, and they could not kill you, DG. They couldn't kill you.
They had nothing for old 98. I'm just telling you. from the start, from jump. They had nothing for me. But obviously we came up short. But that game was crazy, you know, especially with I'd never broken a bone in my life. So breaking my foot in the first drive of the second half and trying to finish that out, running for first downs after that somehow. I don't know how that happened. Bradley Roby is a big part of the reason why I say defensive players just aren't that smart to begin with, because I roll right, it's third down and long. I roll back left on a broken foot, hobbling with a peg leg, and I'm cornered. It's just me and Bradley Roby. What am I going to do? Well, ain't that smart. So pump at the sideline, I guess. Man, I pump fake at that sideline, and he went for it, and I hobbled all the way to a first down. So he is a big part of the reason why I say defensive players just aren't that smart, whether Ohio State, Michigan, anybody, whichever team it is. They just, first you choose to play defense that just think it's goofy, not great decision makers. But, yeah, man, that game is crazy, right? The pain of a broken foot, you just can't feel it because the intensity of the game is too high. I remember, obviously I had that first down run, but when we got down in the red zone to finish the game and score a touchdown, right, it was like a 3rd and 1 or 4th and inches, 4th and 1, something like that. And I ran Q power. And when I tell you, I don't know how I did it, but I did it and got the first down. And everybody knows the rest and what happened, through a touchdown to, Funches and then went for 2. But it was the thing is, once the game was over, right, all that pain shot all the way through that brain and sent a memo and said, "Hey, brother, your foot's broken, by the way." I don't know if you knew or not. And so, it's the intensity of the game allows you to play hurt. It allows you to play beyond what you truly are. If you're that type of competitor, if you're that guy, right, you raise your game. It never lowers, right? If you're that guy, and that's what my experience was against Ohio State. Obviously, as a starter, I never got a chance to get it done, right? Leading at half in 2012, 2013, obviously, we just talked about that, 42-41. And then I really think we get him in Columbus the next year, 2014, if Drake Johnson doesn't get hurt, right? They didn't have anything for him, and the combination of him and then me throwing the ball all over the place, we really had a shot. But when he went down, we didn't have a running attack, and they were too good for us to just drop back and pass. And our offensive line, obviously, the woes that year were well documented. So it was tough. It was tough to keep losing it, but Michigan for the last 3 years has dominated the rivalry, and they're going to go in with a chip on their shoulder. Even though they are the defending national champions, everybody has talked about, and I'm just telling you, no pundit in America, excluding Charles Woodson, is going to choose Michigan to win the football game, right? So that's just a little extra.
So let's talk RPO, Devin, because I remember we had this discussion a couple of weeks ago. And, I've been on the RPO train for a couple of years now. And Borges being the play caller, I ain't no play caller. And it's like, man, why don't they RPO? He said, dummy. Here's why. They don't RPO because they don't have to. They don't have to. Teams that RPO, they
got to control the box.
Yeah, they want to control the box. And Michigan wants to control their run-pass balance. They don't want to let the defense dictate their run-pass balance. So you might say, well, Georgia RPOs, right? And they like that. They got all kind of talent. But you say they are, Stetson Bennett, Maestro on the RPO. That's just the way that their OC at the time. That was his formula. That's not how Michigan wanted to get. They want to control how many times, how often they run the football. But now, DG, they don't have that luxury, bro. This was my point early in the season. Was like, okay, if Alex Orji's not in the game, they can't run the football. They don't have an offensive line like that. They can't just line up and push people around. They can't block a loaded box. You made that point early in the season. Remember?
I was very clear. I thought I was very clear.
You were very clear. You were adamant that I'm gonna first guess this.
Sam say we're gonna wait a little bit. I said, nah, we don't gotta wait.
Okay.
Let's go right now.
Beat that chest. So beat that chest, right? You was like, yeah, we didn't do it. Okay, so if they're not gonna be able to do it, How are you going to run the football with Davis Warren behind center? You have no chance of running the football with Davis Warren behind center unless you're going to zone read him some and make them respect him, or you're going to RPO it. And you said, okay, unless you're about that life, I don't know if you want to be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, DG, they started to do it some last week. They RPO'd a little bit. They started throwing them run controls, throwing some bubbles on like almost all their run plays. And all of a sudden, well, Eureka, they were able to run the freaking football. And so now I say, man, this is your only hope of being able to run the football this week against Ohio State.
Wait, do you think it was that, or you think it was the fact that I was at the game?
I give you some credit.
All right, bet. Hey, all I need is 3%, just like an NFL agent. Just 3%. That's all I'm asking. But I think you're exactly right. They're going to have to lean into that because no chance. I mean, 0% that they're going to be able to run the football, right, versus this front of Ohio State without any threat of anything else, right? The offensive line just isn't good enough, right? And their defensive front and their linebackers, who Sonny Styles has really come on, man, as a guy who was a safety, and now his speed at linebacker, it kind of reminds me, not quite, but it reminds me of Jabril Peppers, right? Not really a linebacker, but when you put him down in the box, it just, the overall team speed, they just look faster, right? And so there's no way with those roaming linebackers, with those defensive linemen that do a very good job of taking up blocks, right? Taking up gaps, playing that gap and a half scheme that the defensive line, the really good defensive lines like to do. There's no way you're getting to the second level frequently. And so allowing those linebackers to roam freely and just come downhill at your runs is not going to be conducive to success. So you have to find a way to control them. And I love, right, against a Northwestern team that's not a bad defense, starting to work on some of that, right? Trying to control the box and see if he's about that life. See if he really do this, because you don't want to just roll it out against Ohio State. I think that was smart by the coaching staff, and they'll have to use it. They're going to have to use it actually frequently, in my opinion.
Yeah, man, a lot. You got nothing to lose, bro. I mean, this is your only hope. Hey, man, if you don't have nothing else that'll work, you lose. Just might as well go out there. Hey, throw a couple RPOs.
Hey.
I mean, think about what was working against Indiana. Nothing. Might as well go out here and try this, right?
I mean, just like Little Giants, one time, right? I remember one time I beat my big brother riding the bike down Cherry Hill. You beat your big brother riding Cherry Hill? Yes, one time, right? You don't need to do this for multiple weeks. Just one time, right? A couple big plays here or there, just ability to hold and control the box so you can continue to sustain drives. One time. The Little Giants beat the Cowboys. They did, right? The annexation of Puerto Rico needs to be in full effect. And I think Michigan can do it if they do all those things and they have to play mistake-free football. There can't be no self-inflicted not injuries, but self-inflicted penalties and mistakes, right? Drop balls, right? Just not hitting open receivers, right? Those things cannot happen, and they have to be completely out of your system in this game for you to have that chance to be the Little Giants of college football.
It's funny you said one time, because I mean, how many bubbles did he throw? One? Did he throw? I mean, he might have thrown a bubble one time. That's all it took for them to respect it.
All right, just loosen up those alley players, those linebackers. Don't allow them to just get into the box.
Man, and so you do that against Ohio State. You get behind those linebackers on an RPO, and it's like, hey, now you're making them respect you. You're making them respect you a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're making those safeties who are coming down respect you a little bit more. That nickel who's coming down respect you a little bit more, right? And that's
I think to start the game, Ohio State, they'll leave their nickels and safeties out of it. I think they feel they're a little arrogant. I think they feel that they'll be just fine with their linebackers and their defensive linemen, and they're going to handle it. And that frees them up to do whatever they want to back in and make it really difficult. And the reason I think they feel that way is because I think they look at Indiana as a much better football team, especially offensively. And what they were able to do after like the first drive against Indiana, I actually just got finished watching because I got Indiana this week. it was super impressive, man. When I tell you they were getting after that quarterback, they stacked him 6 times, right? And he threw for 68 yards, negative 33 rushing, and his completion percentage was like 44%, something crazy, right? He only completed 8 passes, and 3 or 4 of those on the first drive, right? So what they were able to do to make him inaccurate, to make him antsy, was really impressive because he had been one of the most accurate quarterbacks all year, not only just in the Big Ten, but in the entire country. And I don't know, maybe his thumb has a little bit to do with it, but I think Michigan really hurt that quarterback by hitting him so much. And then when he went into that game, once Ohio State started to hit him, it kind of almost felt like flashback, right? And so he just wasn't accurate. And I say this to say most of us look at him as a better quarterback than Davis Warren. And the one thing that hurt him is what Davis Warren has kind of struggled with, right? Being able to stay in the pocket, get hit, and make throws, right? Because Rourke still did it a few times, and his receivers didn't get their head around quick enough. They dropped balls, things like that. But for Michigan, Davis Warren just hasn't shown the propensity to be able to just stand in there strong over and over and over again and make throws, and that's what he's gonna have to do against Ohio State, right? I think that's the game within the game. I think that's the biggest part of the game for Michigan to have a chance. He has to get hit and make throws routinely.
Yeah, it past that second touchdown, Michigan beat the hell out of that dude. I mean, Michigan did the same thing to him that Ohio State did. They were all over it.
He started the game against Michigan 12 of 14. He finished like 13 of 32, something crazy like that. No, 13 of 32 from then on through Ohio State. That's crazy. Right, so he started 12 of 14. Michigan started heating him up, start hitting him. TJ Guy getting after him multiple plays. And then from that point to the end of Ohio State, he was 13 of 32. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And Ohio State need to send a thank you letter is what they need to do. Michigan did that.
Yeah, that front start hitting him, start lighting him up.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes a difference. That pressure starts getting in your head, start getting in his head, the receivers.
And he's a guy that's got a lot of reps, right? And so that's what I'm saying. Davis Warren, we've talked about how he just doesn't have the reps and all these different things. Well, that has to go out of the window. We don't care about that. Figure it out, right? You're going to get hit. You know it. Stand in there, make the throw, and when you need to, when guys are open, you got to hit them.
So here's what I wonder, though. So they did do some good things in the run game, and they reestablished Khalil Mullings because once they went back, and I don't think this is like happenstance. This is coincidental. I think this is a direct correlation. They went back to Davis Warren, and once they went back to Davis, suddenly the Khalil Mullings, it was like everything that you had seen kind of started to dissipate. Mm-hmm. The running game started to dissipate. That didn't just happen. This was predictable. It told you that this was going to be the case. But now that you have figured out a way to reinvigorate the run game, and you start to emphasize him again, I wonder if that might be a way that you can take some of this pressure off of. Take some of this pressure off of Davis, and maybe you can get some of that play action game. Because if you can't run the football, there's no reason to. The play action game was non-existent. Not to mention they can't protect, but there's no reason to think play action pass. They can't run the freaking football. Who cares? Mm-hmm. Now, if you can run the football a little bit, maybe there's an opportunity to get one of these chunk plays. And Devin, that's not a slouch defense they were running the football against last week.
No, it was actually a really good defense. And I got my little deal here. Let me just see what their numbers are exactly, so we don't make anything up. Rushing defense, they're 7th, right? 7th in the Big Ten, right? So a defense that's top half, right? They're serviceable, and they played really well against Ohio State the week before, a team where everybody would collectively agree they have the best running back tandem, not only in the Big Ten, probably in the country. So, and the offensive line for Ohio State that's really coming into form, after they've shuffled some things around. So, that's a defense that's good, right? A good rush defense, not the greatest, not and certainly not bottom half. But Michigan was able to have their way with them.
Yeah, they did. They came up with some interesting wrinkles. They came up with a little interesting way to block an insert that was really cool. They were trapping them a little bit. They were doing some different things in the run game, but the biggest wrinkle was, like we said, I mean, you throw in some RPO and some run control and make them defend more of the field, make them worry about more, and they can't just key on your running game. And now there's some seams in there for them to be able to run through. And that was the key, I think, to Michigan. And of course, they blocked it better. They blocked it. They were picking up those twists in this game better than they did against Indiana.
Yeah, so much so that Northwestern didn't even do much of it, right? Because you're kind of wasting, right? You're twisting guy. Because with a twist, you're always risking that you twist the guy out of a gap, right, and create an explosive play, right? So if you're twisting and it's not really working, maybe you're not giving up that explosive play. Why do you continue to risk it, right? So you block it up, they won't do it anymore. But against Indiana, obviously, they weren't able to do it.
Right. So we're giving you all the things that give Michigan a chance, and yet these dudes are like that. Ohio State's like that offensively. How good is Jeremiah Smith?
I ain't seen nothing like it. You know who he is? He's Julio Jones, but Julio Jones as a junior. But he's only a freshman. That's the thing. That's the issue, right? He's Julio Jones as a junior. This is the Julio Jones that with the broken foot ran 4.3 at the combine, right? He's Julio Jones as a junior, but as a true freshman. He's unbelievable. Some of the things he's able to do. I mean, he's going against guys who are seniors, veterans in college, and he's basically treating them like they're freshmen, and he's like the upperclassman. Like, okay, yeah, you're going to be good soon, but you can't deal with me right now, right? One day you'll be good, but you can't deal with me right now, except it should be flipped, right? It should be flipped. The older guys should say, yeah, you're going to be real nice, but right now I'm the elder statesman, and he's the elder statesman in every matchup that he has, and so there's going to have to be a plan for him, and obviously they have other talented wide receivers, but I with my own eyes, you know, I ain't seen everybody, but with my own eyes up close, I've never seen a human like him as a wide receiver. I haven't, not me.
So better than Marvin Harrison.
Oh yeah, as a freshman, yeah. I don't know what he will be, right? Because you see guys have great years. Remember the one guy, number 8 for Clemson, that had a great national championship, right? He was like, oh my God, this guy is gonna be, he'd be the first receiver taken right now. And then he went on to have like a lackluster career. He got in with the Chiefs. The Chiefs really, you know, he never panned out, right? I think they just cut him this year finally. But I don't think this happens to this kid. However, you do want to wait and see what he becomes, because what Marvin Harrison became was something special. And, you know, this has only been 1 year of this kid, but I've seen him versus double teams. I've seen him versus pass interference, make the play. Like, he is, the moment's never too big. And the cool thing that I like about him is he's just no nonsense, right? He's not getting up doing the, you know, he ain't dancing. He handing the ball to the ref and getting back to work, right? And that's what you want to see from a young guy, just because, right, it's older guys that have put their time in, right? And you don't want people to start to get envious of the greatness that you are putting out there, and because you're going to get a lot of love. And it seems like he's very self-aware and understands that. And so he does nothing to bring attention to himself, excluding his exciting plays that you just can't avoid.
Yeah, he's special. There's no doubt.
You see why his coach cried when they found out they got him. or you know, fainted or whatever, you know, he did, you know.
Yeah,
I would have cried too if I knew this was gonna be what it was. I would have fainted too.
Yeah, Ryan.
Yes, thank goodness we got him.
Ryan Day is a fainter. He seemed like one of those type of dudes that would faint over something like that.
You always take it.
He seemed like one of those type of dudes. But to me, I keep saying this. I've said it on every show that I've been on, including the one with the Buckeyes. You just got to get these, easier said than done. You just got to get them to the fourth quarter, man. Man, if you can be close with these, in a score, a 1-score game in the fourth quarter, you got them. You in Ryan Day's head. If it's a 1-score game in the fourth quarter, he won't hold up. And he has been so preoccupied with talking about how tough his guys are.
Mm-hmm.
It's never been about his guys. That's the misconception. You know, he has tried to flip it and turn it and make it be about Lou Holtz is talking about these players. No, Lou was talking about you. He was talking about You got it real twisted. He was talking about you, Ryan. He's like, I know this dude's sauce. And you keep proving it because the team changes and
Yes.
the result doesn't. So if they were to lose this year, and everyone knows it, the Buckeyes know it. That's why, man, whenever after these games, this is the crazy thing. After these games, none of these Buckeyes, I don't hear scam Webb the first. It's like no scam this, no scam that. They let me say whatever I want to say about Ryan Day. I mean, it's like they co-signing what I say about. Oh, he's kind of right. It's like yeah, it's like the peanut gallery. What I got to say about Ryan Day, and then they call they go back to normal. They revert after a little while, but they know they agree with me. They agree with me on Ryan Day. If he loses this year, the man won't make it to the press conference. DG,
You're right.
press conference.
You might be right about that.
It's over. It's over.
You know, if he loses this year to Michigan, I don't think they fire him. I think you're right. He won't make it to the press conference. However, he'll have that chance to go to the playoff. Wait, I mean, he might not. Maybe he should get in the playoffs still, right? But that'd be tough. That'd be a tough sell with the way they love the SEC and different things like that. And to get 4 teams in the Big Ten championship, I mean, not into the playoff is there'd be a lot of complaint. However, he should have a chance to go win that championship, and that's what'll save him. But that's tough, man. That losing 4 straight times and then losing in this season, right, to a Michigan team that's barely up bowl eligible, like that would be that wouldn't be good. I don't think that's
they nervous, man. They nervous. It's a free shot, Sam. It's a free.
Think about it. You spent $20 million on the roster, and you went to get Chip Kelly. Come on, man.
And it's a free shot. That's why winning last week was. Every week is important, right? In this game, the game is always going to be important to everybody, right? But you got the bowl eligibility out the way. Now it's a free shot at them. Like you could go out and open it up and let it. I don't want to say that, but go out there and take your shot, man. You got a chance to live in history. Take your shot.
Yeah. Shit. This is that time where you can go and play the role of spoiler.
Mm-hmm.
Remember he talked all that. We gonna hang 100 on him. I'm like, man, what?
He ain't talking like that now, though. He real humble right now.
It's like, wow.
He's been very humble about it right now.
It's like, this dude just came out of here.
I saw an interview him talking about losing the game, and he said he likened it to. He said it's the worst experience of his life. It's nothing worse in my life. And then he kind of doubled back, was like, well, I mean, losing my dad, but aside from that, this is the worst. I'm like, dang, you forgot about the loss of your father in the Ohio State in the Michigan game. Losing that was worse. Whoa. So, I mean, he sees the importance of it, I guess.
That's taking it kind of far.
So he took it far. Like when I'm telling you, he doubled back to go, well, I lost my father. Losing my father was bad, but losing to Michigan for my family, for me, is the worst thing that's ever happened. I'm like, second worst now at the brought in the dad thing. Whoa. That's deep. That's deep.
Yeah, that is really deep.
So that makes me think, Sam, that you are white and like you said, easier said than done, but getting him to the fourth quarter, he starts to feel that, right? He starts to feel all that. If that's the kind of things he's saying before, I think he starts to really feel that pressure. If it's a tight game, going into the fourth. So, I mean, it's gonna be somebody's gonna lose, somebody gonna win.
I keep saying that butt starts to pucker, huh? Yeah, right. Hey, man. Hey, you shouldn't have let that smooth taste fool you. That's what happened. You got in there and started thinking you took over for Urban Meyer and started thinking you could walk in urban shoes. Realized it wasn't so easy, right? Once Michigan started figuring out how to get it done, Jim replaced his staff, got some dudes who were about it, got some players in there, and started punking you like he did. It's like, oh man, it's like, it ain't easy to talk that tough talk. Once Michigan realized they was man enough to stand up to you, when Michigan was able to punch back, it's like now I got to adjust. Now I got to actually I can't just go out there and just out talent you. I gotta actually have some scheme. I gotta have some responses. I gotta have some counters. I can't just come out there with Kerry Combs and think we just gonna roll the ball out there and just beat you. Come on, man. Stop it. That's what he did. And then he just rolling all over, like just rolling all over every coaches in and coaches out, even his boys, rolling on steamrolling his boys, all that. That come back on you. See, that's the other thing. That come back on you. When you just steamroll your guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. That's bad karma. Don't think that don't hit you too.
Need some of that karma this weekend.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see. We'll see if this team that they're supposed to be, because that's the other thing. So he spent $20 million on the roster. I'm not criticizing that. I'm just saying you don't have any excuses. Like Buckeye said, you criticized us so much. I'm not critical. I'm not saying that was bad of you to do. I'm saying, okay, there are no excuses for you to lose this game. If you spent that much money on a roster, $20 million, Chip Kelly, no Jim Harbaugh, no Jesse Minter, all these new players. Michigan is 6-5. Wow. And you're at home. You got all the advantages. And you're a 3-touchdown favorite. There is no reason for you to lose this game. Shouldn't even be close. And this is what's your off season to eat it. We gotta leave no doubt. That's a quote from Ryan Day. Leave no doubt. That's what we've been talking about all off season. Leave no doubt. All right. That's what we got to see it then. Because if it's a fourth quarter, Devin, and I'll tell you what, because they talk all crazy. All these dudes talk all crazy. They look me up on Facebook. They wrote a fake article on my family a couple last year. Goes on and
what was the article out?
They said that my wife. They said Harbaugh hired my wife.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Harbaugh hired my wife, and that I couldn't say cross things or foul things about Harbaugh because he fired my wife. If I did, and my wife was the breadwinner, she make more money than me, so I can't say anything because my wife make more money than me,
and she gonna slap you up if you do.
And she gonna slap me up. and Harbaugh fired my wife. It's like, how does that work? I mean, just making stuff, and I didn't go to Michigan. They just make it all kind of Buckeye logic, just Buckeye logic, right?
Yeah, my wife don't need to make more.
Yeah. And so today,
you went to Eastern, Sam?
Yeah, right. It is. So today, some Buckeye went on today. He was like, "Yeah, I hope I see you at the horseshoe with your wife Donna and your son Aaron." I said, "Man, let me tell you something. You know where my wife from? Just make sure you identify yourself. So she know who you are. So we can perceive the threat ahead of time. Just so it can be well established that it's a threat.
So now we can move accordingly.
So we can move accordingly, right? That's you don't know where that man.
Fear for her life. She feared for her life. She feared for her life because of a previous threat.
Yeah, she feared for her life because of a previous threat. Whatever occurs is okay, right? Whatever occurs is okay at that point. These Buckeyes, folks be playing on the internet. Folks be playing on the internet. Don't play on the internet like that.
Sam. He said my wife from Flint said it won't be no slapping. Said don't take no money making more money or anything like that. If it's a perceived threat, it won't be no slapping. So y'all got them rumors wrong from jump.
These people crazy in this world. We don't play crazy. We don't play with crazy people.
Not at all.
We're crazy people. So, hey man, and especially my wife. Especially my wife.
And the thing is, it's so fake crazy. Like it's just fake. Like you pretending. You're not even really like that. You're not about that. Just take a deep breath and just be cool on the internet, man. I don't understand that.
Of course.
Like, it's people that's really like that, and you're not one of them. So, like, I never understand it.
Crazy.
Never understand it.
So keep sports.
Yep.
Keep sports. Buckeyes. Keep sports. That's what you should do. That should be the lesson here. Keep it fun. And if it bothers you that much, get a different coach. Get a different coach. That should be the lesson. Because if y'all lose this game, that's your problem, not me. I will show up. I will show up on all your websites. That will be one of your problems. Me
Hey,
showing
if we win this weekend, Sam, you go. I'm tuning in for the post game show. It was epic the last couple years. I can only imagine what it's gonna be. If they get
Sam
it done
won't have
this
his
year,
voice
man,
back until next Saturday.
Lord have mercy. There will be no dimes next week if we win this. Sam will not be able to host anything.
All right, folks. We need to segue and we need to switch gears. All right. So here's the thing. I want you to be able to take advantage of this great deal. This great deal that is available to you courtesy of our great sponsor here on Steady Droppin Dimes. Steady Droppin Dimes is brought to you by Underground Printing. An Ann Arbor original since 2001. They started Underground Printing in West Quad, the University of Michigan. Great door. My friend Daniel Hort knows it well, right? He may have even walked past the dorm room that they created Underground Printing in. Unbeknownst to him, they may have been in the lab,
Cooking it up.
hooking it up, right? Designing the first t-shirts, the first custom t-shirts. They might have been getting it done in the room, right? Well, now they are an empire where they can make any custom design, whether it be your company t-shirts, your team t-shirts, your bowling league shirts, doesn't matter. They can get them done, right? But what we're talking about is here over the holiday season. Your holiday gift ideas that you might have for the Michigan fan in your life, that Michigan branded apparel that you've been looking to get, you need to go to Underground Printing to pick it up. Why? Because they have a wide array assortment of options. Maize and blue, from your hoodies, your long sleeve, your short sleeve, your winter gear. They have it all. And you can get it for 20% off using our exclusive code. Available to you in store and online. It is SamWeb20. All right? SamWeb20 is the code. Available to you online and in the store. So whether you're here in Ann Arbor, going to the store on South Main, the store on Southview, the store downtown, go ahead and use that code. You can also use it online at undergroundshirts.com. Folks, you can make it happen. You can make it happen. Now, this excludes custom wears, custom items. Does not include custom. You can't say, as I said earlier in the show, hey, make me a drop a dime shirt. Give me 20% off using SamWeb20. Doesn't work that way. All right. Only on non-custom items will the code work. Okay. So underground.
So to be clear, I mean, some people may have just got here. I thought we established that when you go the number 2 strap with 2 P's, Sam, that gets you the deal on the custom apparel. Is that not true anymore? Has that changed?
And 2 straps does not work. Okay.
No, I said 2 strap. So 2 strap, like
no,
2 P's is what I'm saying.
No variation of 2 straps.
They changed that already?
None of that works.
Man, they making up their own
all of
promo codes in the chat.
Items that you see popping up on your screen, the gloves, that nice form fitting, that was like a nice form fitting blue top for the lady in your life. That was nice. This hoodie this camo hoodie, which is sweet. I might have to pick that one up myself. You get 20% off of these items using the code SamWeb20 at undergroundshirts.com or at any of the locations, the in-store locations. Again, South Main, South U, downtown. Go make it happen. And of course, it's not just hey, look, you Buckeyes, I know we got plenty of them in here. It's funny how they lurk. They're going to start talking if they win, right? They're 3 touchdown favorites. They've been they're confident, but they're kind of antsy. You're like, they know that Ryan Day is their coach. So they're like, let me wait till we're up big in the fourth quarter before we really get after it, before we really start talking, right? I get it. I'd be like that if Ryan Day was my coach too.
Hey Sam, you know the person I think has not quite understood what he's about to get himself into.
Who's that?
Will Howard. Like
Really?
he's looked like a real, like the paradigm of what a front runner looks like, right? Like the overly hyping up the crowd all the time, like just doing too much. Like everything is to the crowd, pandering to the crowd ever since that Oregon game, and I don't think he understands what like. I think he's thinking, man, we played Oregon. It's good. We good. Nah, man. This different. It's different. Right? No matter what Michigan's record is, playing in this game is totally different. Not to mention Michigan's defense is hitting their stride at the perfect time. Right? So I think that Will Howard is a guy to watch as far as, you talked about like, the sphincter and all that, right? Getting tight. I think Will Howard is a guy to watch just because, like, I don't think he understands the level of intensity that it's about to go to for this game. I just don't think he can get it. And it's not like anything really against him. It's more of, like you talked about in the beginning, you don't know until you know, right? You don't know until you get in that fire, right? You know it's hot and you can see it's hot. You can see the smoke, but you don't know how hot it is until you step foot in there. It's like, oh, okay, I got it. It's the hottest thing that's ever birthed, right? And so I think that that's important to watch, like his demeanor, because he hasn't played great, right? And that's the other thing that's been interesting. He hasn't played great, but he's always the leader of the cheerleading club to the fans and all that kind of stuff, right? And so I'm really wondering, and does his team do his teammates turn on him, right? Do they say, man, we've been cool with it because we've been winning. This is the game now. Get it together, right? Then does he press, right? Does he press because he's supposed to beat Michigan, right? They brought you here to beat Michigan. I think that that's an interesting storyline to follow throughout this game as well.
Ben got all the pictures from Devin's wall. Look at that.
Running for my life, man. Look at that arm. Oof, why is everybody's arm reaching out getting me? This is crazy.
Hey, by the way, I meant to say there is an underground printing store in Columbus. So you Buckeyes, you can use the code 2 on your Buckeye gear in Columbus when you go into underground printing. You can use it on your Buckeye gear if you can bring yourself to use the code SamWeb20. You can save yourself some money on your Buckeye gear. Are you Buckeyes in the house?
No, tell them to use 2-strap.
Or you Michigan fans who make it down there. I don't even know if they would. They probably wouldn't carry the Michigan gear in the house down there. They probably wouldn't. They probably use it as like the target practice down there, right? So, but the code does work wherever you are. They have 28 locations nationwide. So, different college campuses across the nation, including down there in Columbus. So there you have it, our friends at Underground Printing. I do want to switch gears and get over to talking about the National Football League, where my Lions. Yes, sir.
Hey, Daniel, what league is the Saints in?
The same league as Lions. We won 2 in a row, baby. About to get 3 this weekend. So, I mean,
2 in a row. That's cute.
Y'all should be tanking right now. Wait, y'all should be tanking right now. What are you doing?
No,
2 in a row. Hey, Sam, you hear that? 2 in a row. That's cute.
Y'all, this is the first time y'all have had this record since 1930 something, right?
Why are you changing the subject?
2 in a row. That's cute.
You know how many times the Saints have had that record over the last 15 years?
How many? You don't know either.
4.
Yeah, why are you the Saints should be tanking, shouldn't they?
Nah, we're gonna be all right.
No, you're not.
We're gonna be all right. We're gonna win
No,
again
you're
this
not.
weekend against Devin's guy, Matthew Stafford.
That's not my guy.
That's your guy, right?
That is not my guy.
That's his
If
guy.
anybody is my guy, that ain't it.
Nah, I know it. That's your guy.
That ain't my guy.
Yeah,
The greatest Lions quarterback ever, right?
That is not true.
Nah, I believe you.
not my
I
guy.
believe you.
Not my guy. I do not. Don't get me going on Matthew Stafford.
I believe
Good
you.
player, not my guy.
best Lions quarterback is playing right now, and he's proving it.
Yeah, I don't think it's close.
Nah, no, I'm messing with DG.
And he's proving
You're
it
a
every
bully.
week.
That's all that is.
Yeah.
You got to resort to something because your ain'ts ain't doing nothing.
Hey man, it's okay. It's fine.
So here's a question as they get ready to play these Bears, and division games normally make me nervous, but given how the Lions have handled first the Minnesota Vikings, remember they got down early 10-0, and then they came back and put it on them.
Yeah,
And then they went to Green Bay in the cold, in the rain, and smacked them around. I'm like, hey, man, the Bears about to get it handed to them. Now, there was this debate, and I remember Louis Riddick said, Caleb Williams is not the guy. He said, you watch Caleb Williams play. Everything he does is an improv play. Like everything he does, he's improvising everything. You watch him play. The guy is Jaden Daniels. He was adamant. Jaden Daniels is the best player in this draft. He is going to be the better quarterback in the long run. Now, my question to you, DG and Daniel, was he right, or did Jaden Daniels just go to the right team?
I was fully, those were my thoughts, like almost verbatim. I didn't know how great Jalen Daniels would be. I knew he would perform well, but I thought he might get hurt. Right? I thought he was too skinny. I thought he might get hurt, and he has gotten a little banged up, but not enough that he won't be able to play and perform. But as far as the Caleb Williams thing, that was the whole thing, and I learned it in an odd way. As you know, DeQuan Finn used to be the quarterback at Toledo, right? And so I used to watch his film before the games to, give him notes on the team that he's going to play. And he was going to play San Jose State, right? Good team, not a great team, right? Whatever you think of them, they shouldn't be in the game with these Power 5 teams, right? Even though they do fight hard often, but their athletes just aren't the level of a USC, right? And USC had played them earlier. And he had all these amazing plays, right? And it's like, okay, I want to watch the whole game, right? I watched the whole game, and there were so many times where guys were wide open, on schedule, 1, 2, 3 balls out, or catch and throw, whatever the case may be. And he just runs around for no reason. No pressure, no imminent danger, nothing. And it's just like, okay, there's no way he does this all the time. Well, you go look at the film, and that's who he was. He's an improv guy. And my thinking was, okay, he's the best athlete on the field every single time he steps out. That's not going to happen, right? In the NFL, every single guy is the best athlete on. You know what I mean? So it's going to be really difficult. He's going to have some splash plays, but it's going to be difficult to have consistency. In NFL, it's not about those big, long touchdowns like in college. It's about sustaining drives, right? Making first downs, and you'll have a big play every once in a while because you've had such a steady progression throughout drives. But I just did not see his ability to sustain drives, play on time, and not wear a cape, right? Everything was cape, superhero. And that's just not how you can't play that way in the NFL. The person that's closest to being able to play that way is Lamar Jackson. And he is not the athlete Lamar Jackson is. He's a great athlete, but not the athlete Lamar Jackson is.
Yeah, man.
Even Josh Allen had to dial that back.
So how much is Caleb Williams hindered by his coach and by his team, though? Did you give any sort of credit to the environment that Jaden Daniels is in, to his surroundings that maybe?
What's the environment, though? He's going to a team that everybody says is the most toxic team, right? That's why nobody picked him to be anything. They thought they would be awful. And for the Bears, they got every weapon you need. You got possession guy, veteran. You got explosive young receiver. You got explosive running back. You got everything you really need if you play on time. And if you don't play on time, none of that works, right? So as much as the Bears through our history, they've been such a bad organization and they've made a lot of bad decisions. The one thing I think they got right was putting all those pieces around this young quarterback who was supposed to be generational, and he continues to not play the game the way you have to play to be successful at this level. So I personally cannot just blame the culture of the Bears, because when you draft a quarterback like that, that's supposed to be a transformational quarterback, right? Bears, Texans, that ain't no great organization. That was pretty toxic. Guess what? Turned around because of transformational player. Washington Redskins, that's not a great place. That's a toxic environment, right? Ownership changes, all these different things. Why is it working? Because of a quarterback that's transformational. Everybody would give so much credit to Matthew Stafford and going into this situation with the Lions, but I look at the Bengals, right? Awful organization, terrible decisions, all those things. Transformational quarterback in Joe Burrow, right? So I can't go with the organization when they put a lot of pieces around them and shifted a lot of things, got rid of Justin Fields, all these different things to make him successful, and he's still playing the same way that I thought wouldn't be effective in the game.
What you think, Daniel?
Nah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to disagree with that, right? Going back to Jaden Daniels' point, I kind of had the same reservations about his ability to stay healthy in the NFL with how much running he did in college, and his ability to replicate a lot of those explosive plays they had at LSU, throwing to Malik Neighbors and the gang of receivers they've had over the last couple of years since he's been there. But like Devin said, to see him get to the NFL and make some of those same plays as well as, like I say, keep the chains moving. And you see some games he's 20 for 26. He's like, that shows a guy that's pretty accurate and, like Devin said, plays the game on time and at the right level and the right focus. So I've always been more of a fan of Jaden Daniels over Caleb Williams. I wasn't a huge fan of Caleb Williams in college. I know number one pick and supposed to be generational talent, but you could kind of see the levels of competition they played against were different and level of success was different as well. So, I mean, I guess with Jaden Daniels, one of the other drawbacks I had was, they had this explosive offense. I know that LSU's defense wasn't very good, but I feel like they probably should have won more with the weapons they had on offense. So those were really my only reservations. Other than that, as far as physical ability, and he's been a high-level kid since high school. Those guys, I'm a big proponent of pedigree, and those guys normally, when they put in the work, they normally tend to have some good success as they move up. So,
yeah, man, it's one of those deals. It's one of those deals where, hey, bro, it's about to be a long day for Caleb Williams. You know why it's about to be a long day for Caleb Williams? I'm about to show you. Show you why it's about to be a long day for Caleb Williams. Can you give me a share screen? Ben? I'm about to give you a share screen. I'm about to show you something real quick. I'm about to go on a trip down memory lane right now.
Obviously, big victory tonight. Just your team gutting it out. Just take me through it.
It was a hard-fought win. We came out flat. We've been coming out flat in a couple games. We just got to learn how to come out stronger in the game. Punch them in the mouth first. But we're a good fighting team. We came back and got the win at the end right there. But that's pretty much Sanderson football right there. We'll keep fighting to the end.
All right, so we know that you play middle linebacker. I mean, a lot of schools are looking at you as defensive line, but middle linebacker. I was surprised by you tailback. So is this par for the course for you? 35 yards, scamper for a score?
Yeah, I mean, it's something I've been doing since freshman year. They've always put me on handing me the ball when it's in the goal line or whether we're out 50-yard line. But it's something that we've added in, and it's pretty fun to do.
So take me through that play because it looked sweet, right? So were you smelling the end zone? Did you kind of, when you turned the corner, did you see?
Definitely. I saw I was going to go outside of tailback's butt, but saw the hole open right up, cut right through, and it was green grass in front of me. Took it to the house.
So any aspirations to maybe give you handoffs in college? Because that's what you're looking at?
Yeah, definitely. If they want to hand me the ball, we can score. Definitely.
All right, so what height, weight, and 40 time, where are you now as far as your measurables?
I'm 6'3", 286, and I ran a 4.65.
4.65. All right. So when you project ahead, is it defensive end? Is it interior defensive line? Are they moving you around? What are schools saying?
Right now, they're moving me around a lot. First, they wanted me as an interior guy, but they saw my 40 times, so they like me as an outside linebacker, defensive end, inside linebacker type guy with the size I have. So
what was behind when you recruited? What was behind you deciding to let it play out a little longer? Why did you decide to do that?
Oh, well, really, what happened was I had got the invite to the U.S. Army All-American Bowl game. So, I mean, I was going to do it on halftime. So that gives me a lot more time to rethink things, official visits that I want to take. It just gives me a lot more time to do so.
All right, so just real quick, tell me about NC State. What you like about NC State?
I love the people there, the staff there, Coach Thunder especially. I like how he's developing those players there.
Alim McNeill. You see that big boy running around the corner at tailback? Tailback. Big boy. Now he is a problem. He is a problem. Did you watch him last week? The way he was destroying dudes. They could not block him. You didn't know that was Alim McNeill? They didn't know that was Alim McNeill.
He wear a helmet. Nobody knows what he looks like for real.
You didn't know that
he looked like a little kid. I didn't know who that was.
You didn't know that was Alim McNeill?
I don't know what his real face. I don't know what his face right now looks like.
Yeah, man.
Sam, you know that you've been talking to some of these guys since the video shows they were in high school. So you probably the only one in this who do that.
That's Detroit Lions defensive tackle Alim McNeill. That's who that is, or who that was as a junior in high school.
The real question is how old were you in that video? That's the real question.
Hey, Sam is the originator around here of the post-game interview in high school. I'm just telling you. Sam, get that camera going and asking his questions and everything. Camera usually steady, he's the originator of that slide. And if anybody tell you any different, they telling you they're wrong.
Oh, I got another lion for y'all. Wait, I got another one for you. Give me another share screen real quick. Give me another share.
It's gonna be Amon-Ra. It's gonna be
Amon-Ra. You gotta say, you doing all this, y'all better win the Super Bowl, man.
I got another one for you. How about this one?
Oh wow.
That's a 5'7" Aiden Hutchinson look like.
That's what the summer's for, and I got to keep on improving.
So it looked like to me when they called the top tackle and the top defensive end, you were the defensive end component of that matchup. Is that right?
Yeah.
And so how did that battle end?
Well, we did it once. Well, we did it twice actually. I beat him the first time, but they called it a draw, and then I beat him the second time, so we finally won it.
So tell me about your game, Aiden. Obviously, the last year feels like a blur. We first heard who you were and who your dad is, and then it seemed like you just blew up. Had a great season. Recruiting really started to blow up. How did it feel for you? How have you taken it all in?
It was a great feeling that LSU came in first and called, and that kind of sparked the whole thing. And I'm just really happy and proud that I'm doing this so early in my career.
All right. So how many offers do you have on the table?
I have 8.
You have 8 offers, and of those 8, are any sticking out for you yet?
Well, Ohio State's pretty close, so probably the ones that stick out the most are probably Wisconsin, Michigan, and Ohio State. Notre Dame's another one that I would like to get an offer from. They'd be up there. So those are some of my top schools right now.
So what is it like for you here? Working out on the same field that your dad worked out on. Is it pressure? Does it make you nervous? I mean, how do you take that part of it?
I don't feel as much pressure. I'm just trying to do the best that I can do. I'm not trying to reflect my dad. I'm just going to try to do the best I can and try to, get in front of him.
I got you.
Can't hear you, Sam.
St. Brown in there somewhere. Got to dig it up. But yeah, man. Yeah, he had Ohio State, I think, before Michigan.
I'll never understand that kind of stuff.
Yes, sir. Yeah, but Alim McNeill is a beast. And you are wondering where the pass rusher is going to come from once Aiden went out, and this dude has been their best pass rusher. He's been their best pass rusher. Like it's hard. It's hard to single block him. Hard for teams to handle him one-on-one. And it was a nightmare for the Colts last week. It's like Anthony Richardson was like, he kept looking at his guard like, man, dude,
Help me.
it's like, come on, man, what is this? You do get paid to do this job, right? So then he kept looking at him like, dude, yeah, Alim is gonna be in the face of Caleb Williams all day. And you look at this Lions team, division games don't give me the pause that they once did this season. So now the question becomes, as you look around the NFC, I was feeling pretty frisky, feeling like they were gonna win this game win the NFC without much threat. I'm feeling pretty good about the North. I think Green Bay, light work. Minnesota, light work. Philly, fellas, Philly is starting to give me pause now. But then, Devin, you just told me my man BG, he's out. He's done.
That sucks, man, because he was balling, man. And he old man as far as football players in the NFL are concerned. And he's having some of his best years here at the end, and this was gonna be his last season. And he in the game he was having was a good game against the Rams, and he got hurt, and in post game he said he was done for the season with a torn tricep. It's devastating.
Yeah, and I talked to BG before the season, man, and he said this was gonna be his last year, and he was gonna go out. He was trying to go out on a high note. It's like, man, you don't want to see. You talk about one of the best dudes. You will never find a human being anywhere with a bad word to say about Brandon Graham.
No.
Guarantee you.
No.
Ever. You want to hear a cool story? So this was a few years ago. I was on campus. It's around 2016, 2017, somewhere around then. And Brandon Graham was on campus. He was having some sort of event or something on Southview. And guess where the event was, Sam? An underground printing.
Really?
Yep. So he was having some sort of some sort of event for something, some organization he was affiliated with, and they were doing it out of underground printing. So it was pretty cool. That's a pretty cool, come back time both together.
I hate to see BG go out like that. Man, the first time I saw BG was after his freshman year. He was working out in the basement of, before it was East English Village, they were working out, it was Crockett Tech.
Yeah, down the street, down Georgia, off of Gratiot, what?
Yeah, and they were working out. Their weight room was a classroom in the basement of a middle school. And the weights that they had were weights that some of the teachers had brought in. So the coach now over at why am I drawing a blank on this?
You talking about Rod Odom?
Yeah, Rod.
Harper Woods.
On the school.
Harper Woods.
The coach over Harper Woods, Rod Odom, was the assistant over there at the time, and they brought all of the weights in from home. And it's like, man, they was in there grinding, man. And BG was a freshman at the time, and it was like, he was gonna be. He's like, this is gonna be the next one. This is gonna be a guy, because at that time the junior that Michigan was recruiting was a linebacker named John Thompson. I don't know if you guys remember John Thompson. He wound up playing on Michigan's team, linebacker. Good dude. John Thompson went on to be a coach at one of the Detroit high schools for a little while there. I don't know if he's still coaching, but good dude. So, yeah, man, it's you see a lot of full circle moments, and to see BG's career end like that, even though I'm a Lions guy, I was hoping BG was going to sign with the Lions as a free agent. He's like, nah, bro, I'm a Philly guy as a pro. He said, I'm from the D. But as a pro, I'm a Philly guy. But without BG, I'm actually feeling a lot more solid than I was already feeling like the Lions are the best team in the NFC. I'm really feeling like it now. Why are you shaking your head, Daniel?
Yeah, I'm just letting y'all Lions get y'all fans get y'all shine on right now, man. Go do your thing.
Hey, the Saints are pretty much finished for all of eternity, so
Mm-hmm.
throughout perpetuity.
What you mean? Now, y'all tell me on our way out, who's the best team in the AFC? Now, is it the Buffalo Bills?
Chiefs. I'm not trying to see nothing about no regular season games and none of that. The Chiefs are the best team until proven otherwise when it matters.
I can agree with that. Defending champs, you got to beat them, right?
Defending back-to-back champs.
Yep.
Best quarterback of a generation and likely ever. You gotta beat them for them to not be the team, especially since they've only lost one game, right? They haven't played well, but they've only lost one game, so they got the best record. And so
Bills feel like they exercise the demon beating them.
Right, and they're not peaking
in the regular season
early.
Yeah,
I hope they don't feel like that because that's a recipe for disaster. If you think you slayed the dragon because you beat him in the regular season, that's crazy talk. I hope they don't think that.
Hey, Sam, let me ask you a question. Amongst the Lions faithful, is there a fear of peaking too early as Lions fans?
What does that mean?
Okay.
What does that mean? What does peaking too early mean?
Like what's your win streak right now?
I think it's 8 games, or it might be 9 games. 9 games. Yeah, 9 games.
Like how Devin mentioned earlier, Michigan's defense is hitting their stride at the right time, right? Meaning going into the final games of the season, they're playing their best football. Do you think you all are playing your best football right now, or do you have another level to go to once the playoffs and the
See, here's what I feel. I feel the Lions aren't even at full strength yet.
That's what I thought. I think they're still continuing to improve, honestly.
Yeah, okay. You still got guys you can get back. Alex Anzalone is out with injury. You're gonna get him back around the time of the playoffs. Emmanuel Mosley is coming back from his injury rehab. He's still in his evaluation, so we'll see what that happens. If Fatu Melifonwu, he's in his injury window. See if you get him back, right, and you get these injured parts back in there. See if you can incorporate them into your equation. Those will be key parts because that'll be another corner in Mosley, another playmaker and safety in Melifonwu, one of your key linebacker leaders in Anzalone. And then, by the way, you just traded for Zadarius Smith, who's not only now going to be in his 3rd week as a Lion, he's going to get better and better as the weeks go on. After edge rusher, who's going to get more acclimated week after week after week. Nah, bro, what do you mean peaking?
I'm just telling you as a Saints, I'm just asking for one. I'm just asking. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just asking. But for two, I've just, as a Saints fan, we've been here a couple of times in the Drew Brees era, and you have a nice win streak going in regular season, and then you kind of taper off and have a subpar performance at the end of the regular season where you get beat by the Vikings.
Stop hating. Then y'all got to ask you something. I got to ask you something. How do you say Wisconsin?
Who, me?
Yeah, how you say it?
Wisconsin.
So why you say Wisconsin? Is that weird how I'm saying it?
No. You
said Youngblood with a heavy Midwest accent.
Yeah, when Aiden Hutchins said it was like Wisconsin. It was like it sounded with a heavy Midwest accent.
Ain't no A in that word. He can't do that.
Yeah. Youngblood had a heavy Midwest accent.
Yeah. Hey, well, folks, we are gonna have to bid you adieu and get ready to start getting down on some Thanksgiving preparation. Not me. I'm gonna start getting down
per se. Sam hired cooks. He got that cheese, so he hired cooks and get all everybody. So he just stay out the way, and then he come in when it's all done.
Listen to those Buckeyes. They say I don't have no cheese. My wife make all the cheese.
Oh no, Sam got that cheese. I'm just gonna tell y'all right now. He got that cheese, and I know he ain't gonna prove it or nothing like that. But just take my word for it. I don't tell you no lies. I don't tell you no lies.
So listen, folks. If you have ground transportation needs, our friends at Golden Limo, they have you covered. And they are working hard. They're working diligently on preparations for that postseason gathering. They're trying to get the Droppin Dimes crew together with their brand ambassador, Zeke Berry, who is balling, getting better at corner by the week. Man, Vance is like, listen, that's the other corner. As a matter of fact, Next year, don't put Zeke back at nickel. Don't put him back at safety.
Yeah, he your corner for sure.
Yeah, keep Zeke at corner.
And I'm really interested to see how he does this week, because this could really solidify him. And going into next year, people be talking, yeah, Zeke Berry is a top corner on the board if he play like how he's been improving.
Yeah, he played against some good receivers this week.
He got a chance to really get paid. I'm just telling you. He got a real shot. Real shot.
Yeah, I'm going quarter half though. We gonna roll up to that side.
Well, you saying that, but Will Johnson got a lot of his fame. He caught his interception on what's the name with a half safety.
Yeah,
it don't matter how it happened. All that matters is what did you do in the game.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Let's do that though. Let's do that. And
let's make sure he got some help.
And here's what I like about the brand ambassador for Golden Limo, Zeke Berry. He is a very, very physical young man who's not scared, DG. I'll say it for the people, for the people who like proper English. He's not scared. And I say it for the people from Flint, Oakland. He ain't scared, DG. He ain't scared.
He want all the smoke.
He want all the smoke. He know that man across from him put on his pants one leg at a time, just like me and you. And so, hey.
Heck, I jump in mine.
Yeah,
both legs.
He'll step up in there. He'll step up in there. He'll get in the box. He'll get in the fight. And you need a dude like that who is not going to be scared to get up in my man's grill. And Zeke will do that. And Zeke will be at that postseason party. Get back to Golden Limo. He'll be at that postseason party. Samaj Morgan will be as well. And you might be too. And when you book your ground transportation through Golden Limo, you say, hey, give me the golden ticket, right? That will make sure that a portion of your ground transportation fee goes to Michigan NIL, and a portion of it also goes to a great veterans charity called Freedom River. That is the commitment from our friends at Golden Limo to supporting the student athletes at Michigan and also supporting veterans charities. They are all about giving back and also about great service when it comes to your ground transportation needs anywhere in Southeast Michigan when it comes to their luxury SUVs, their Sprinters, of course, their party buses, and then their luxury motor coaches. That's what you see the Michigan football team traveling in. Whatever your ground transportation needs are, they can be met by our friends at Golden Limo. And not just here in Southeast Michigan, anywhere in the United States or abroad with their transportation partners. They can take care of you. GoldenLimo.com. Ben, drop that track.
If you have ground transportation needs, get to your destination on time, every time with Golden Limo. Ride like the Wolverines. Feel like a Wolverine when you ride with Golden Limo, the proud transportation partner for many of Michigan's sports teams and the primary transportation provider for Michigan Wolverines football. All you have to do to book your golden ticket reservation is go to goldenlimo.com/golden ticket or call their team at 734-668-8282 and mention Golden Ticket to book your transportation reservations today.
That's right. That's right. All right, folks. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Fellas, you have a happy Thanksgiving. And we're going to work some things out. I'm trying to get some deals together to get the Droppin Dimes Crew together in December. So I'm going to keep you posted, trying to work some things out. And then that way I could get you your turnover first year at the same time. In time for Christmas. Trying to work it out, all right?
I won't hold my breath.
All right, folks.
Now, I know you're going to get some stuff shaking, but as far as that gear is concerned, I won't hold my breath.
It's going to happen, folks. Thanks a lot, my people. We'll see you next week on the next edition of Steady Droppin Dimes.